Hello, my dear friends. This is Rabbi Aharon Dobinsky coming to you today from the holy city of Jerusalem, in the beautiful state of Israel. I want to talk to you about something that's very important in regards to how you live your life and how you proceed. How do you move forward on this? There are two things that I'd like to discuss with you today specifically. One is kavana and one is belief. I know. We all believe. We all believe there's a God above. We all believe that to some extent or another, He has powers that we do not understand and that we don't control. So, we'll get back to that in a moment. First, I'd like to talk to you about kavana. Kavana is intent. What is your intent when you pray? Well, a lot of us have been doing it so long that sometimes our prayers are more like a buzzsaw. That can be okay, by the way. How would that possibly be okay? Well, do you know what you're saying? Yes, I know what I'm saying. And are you thinking about it when you're saying it? Even though you're going very fast, are you aware of what it is you are saying? What are you talking about? What do the words mean? If you do this in English, it's pretty easy for you. If you do this in Hebrew, it could be a little bit more difficult for some of us because we don't have such perfect Hebrew. Therefore, we know mainly what we're saying, but maybe not all of what we're saying. So, what do we have to do? We have to learn what we're saying. We have to understand. You can sometimes go through a page in a matter of seconds. How? Because you know exactly what you're saying on that page. What are the prayers you're saying? Now understand, I'm not talking about your Hitbodedut. I'm talking about prayers out of a Siddur. Your Hitbodedut should be much slower because you want to think about it very carefully because you're not reading something that somebody else wrote. At this point in Hitbodedut, you're saying what you think is important to say. It's all up to you and your relationship with HaKadosh Baruch Hu. And because of that, you need to take your time on that one. On the other things, you didn't write them. Somebody else wrote them, said these need to be said, and you say them. That's good. There's nothing wrong with that. People who are far wiser than we are and who were around far before we were had come up with the idea that these are done. The men of the Great Assembly put this all together so that we should be able to say what's best. Now, if we are going through it and we're going very fast, but we know what we're saying, that's one thing. If we're going fast because it's just a matter of habit, we need to get through it because we've got a meeting at 9:30 and I got to be there, that's another matter. And that's a problem. We need to be able to do better on that. And where's our kavana during this time, you know? I want you to picture something. Let's just take out the absurd for a moment. You're standing before a king. Any king. That doesn't matter which king. Any king. You finally got an audience before the king. And you can talk to him. So you say, Your Majesty, my name is Aharon, and I'm so glad you've taken the time to see me today. Hey, by the way, isn't it great how the Yankees did last night in the game? Wow, what a game! You see what happened in the fifth inning? It was something special. Anyway, what I want to talk to you about is I would like to talk to you about the fact that I need to have something done that will help me to go forward in my studies and it will help me. And by the way, after this thing, I've got a great meeting today, and I'd really like if you'd kind of help me out with that. Are you getting what I'm saying here? Our kavana is all over the place. I mean, it's very difficult sometimes to keep your mind on that path. As a matter of fact, Rabbi Nosson used to say that, davening is a lot like riding a horse. If you find that you're off the path, just take the reins and bring it back over to the path. You can pick up anywhere. That's great. But here's something beats even better. If you don't have to pick up anywhere, if you stay on the track the whole time, I think we can all agree that's much better for your outcome, for your relationship with HaKadosh Baruch Hu. If you are actually, all of us, not just you, me, everybody, if we are on the track and we stay on the track, we keep our concentration right where it needs to be. At the time we're shochling like this, our attention is between us and HaKadosh Baruch Hu. He's our Father. He wants to hear from us. He can grant us whatever we need. Which brings me to the next thing that I want to talk about today is belief. I have people all the time. Well, I wish I'd have this. I wish I could have that. Why can't I have this? How come Hashem doesn't listen to my prayers? Ooh, wrong question. He does listen to your prayers. Not only does he listen to your prayers, but he does it, he gives you his undivided attention. How can he do that? There's 7.5 billion people on the face of the earth, and I'm sure I'm not the only one talking to him. How can he give me his undivided attention? Well, you're talking in terms that you understand, in terms of you and me and everybody else that we know. We couldn't possibly do that. He's different. He has powers that we don't understand. He has ways that we do not understand. Sometimes the answer is your prayer. The answer is not right now. It's not a good time yet. Did you ever get an answer like that from your parents? Sure you did. Sometimes the answer is just flat no, because it's really not good for you. Did you ever get an answer like that from your parents? Sure you did. So why does it surprise you so much if you get an answer like that from Hashem? However, I'll go you one better than that. He doesn't say no. He just says, no for you because this guy over here needs this far more than you do. You can't understand why, but I do. And it needs to be going, and thank you for asking for him. This will come back to you one day. And it will. It will always come back to you. You have to have the belief when you ask for something that it's possible for you to get it. If you don't have the belief, why would Hashem give it to you? You have to at least have the belief that this is something that is for my good, or the good of my family, the good of my community, the good of my Rebbitzin, the good of somebody, because we know Hashem wants us to have what is good for us. The same way as any parent wants their children to have what is good for them at the proper time. What's the proper time? I've been praying for this for 2 weeks now. I always laugh. I know people have been praying for things for 20 years now and still are waiting. But that's not the point. The point is you keep doing it because you believe that the answer is going to be something that's going to be good for you and is going to help you. And if Hashem agrees with you, it's within his power to give you anything at all that you want. However, let's take another example. This is a little crazy thing. You decide, you see something on some order by mail thing. It's just what you wanted. Say it's a radio. It's a radio. It's a great radio with a computer set, and a phone that goes with it. And you order it. And it comes to your house in a big box. And you open the box. And it's in pieces. Not because it's broken, because that's how it was shipped. You didn't read the fine print that told you have to put this together. Well, you or me or most ordinary people would look at this and go, I have no idea how to put this together. How am I supposed to put this together? So what you do is we go hunting for somebody who can do that. Same as we go hunting for a Rav when we want something from Hashem. So we go hunting, we find somebody. They come to our house, they look at this thing and say, hey, no problem. The same way as when you ask Hashem something, he goes, hey, no problem. So you sit there and you watch this guy, and you don't say how long this take. You just assume, 15, 20 minutes, half hour tops. You'll have it all in one piece. You'll be able to use what you bought. So you're watching him. You're watching him put this together. And he's working, and he's working, and he's working, and he's working. And the more he works, the more impatient we grow, because he's still not got it done. Now, if we knew how long it would take, great. If he sat down and he said, well, this is going to take about 3 weeks to get this all put together the way you really want it. But he doesn't. He doesn't say that to you. Just like when you ask Hashem for something, and you ask him what you're looking for, you're expecting it, much like your box, to be ready to use now, today, tomorrow at the latest, maybe next week. But we don't know that. The problem is we don't know how long it takes. He knows exactly how long it takes, but we don't know how long it takes. So we're sitting here looking over his shoulder. We're getting a little antsy, a little agitated. When's it going to be done already? When's it going to be done already? When's it going to be done already? We do the same thing to Hashem. You do the same thing to Hashem. Now think for a moment what it would be like if he didn't have to do that. I said, have to do that. Why does he have to do that? Because without it, there is no free will. And he gave us free will. He wants us to participate with him in everything, from the time of Adam, who had to pray for rain to bring the vegetation up. He wants us to participate in it. But he wants us to be involved all the time. If you knew it was going to take 3 weeks, you'd probably say, hey, listen, thanks very much. Appreciate you working on it. I'll be back in 3 weeks. Just like we'd say maybe to Hashem, it's going to take 10 years. All right, well, you do what you want. I'm going to go out and play. I'm going to the beach. I'm doing things. I'll be back. No, that's not it. The free will comes from watching the process and saying, I don't know how long this is going to take, but I know what I've asked for is for my good and the good of those around me. And I know Hashem wants to grant this to me. And because of that, I'm going to stick in there. And every day I'm going to pray. And every day I'm going to be patient. And every day I'm going to try to be the kind of person that is deserving of whatever it is that I've been asking for. And if I do that, eventually these things, Bezrat Hashem, if they are indeed what we think they are for the best of us and those around us, will come to us through Hashem. Not only that, but it will bring about the coming of Mashiach Tzidkenu, the third Beit HaMikdash, Bimhei Ravi Omenu, and the kind of life that we want to have, a life of love and joy, understanding, happiness. My friends, have a great Shabbos and a great week ahead. Everything is out there for you. You just have to know how to ask for it and know how to wait for it. But it'll come to you in its time, in Hashem's time. Be well. God bless. All the best.